going on, aliens? I'm Mike Rosa, and I'm with Sam North, who runs fitness rehab for Anabolic Aliens.
What's up, guys?
Today, we're going to be going over a highly requested video topic, which is scapular winging, otherwise known as wing scapula. Now, this is when a shoulder blade is protruding from the back in an abnormal position. Now, you want to go into a little bit more details, some causes, reasons this happens, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I want to tell you that we're not going to be going into nerve damage. If that is an issue for you, talk to your doctor about the next steps. Here, we're going to focus on some muscle imbalances that can lead to this situation. Okay, so wing scapulas are just another term for having bad posture, right? So there can be many causes of this. One, just your daily activities, being hunched over, working at a desk all day. Another, having overdeveloped pecs where they attach to your shoulder up here and kind of drag you in, or having tight lats that do the same. Also having weak serratus muscles, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. That can also cause you to be in that winged position.
Yeah, aliens, we're going to be going over 10 exercises on how to correct this specific situation when it's naturally caused by daily habits that get us into these uncomfortable positions, causing our posture to suffer. So just to clarify, we're not getting into like the medical diagnosis of wing scapula, which is really into like nerve damage and all those details. We're just kind of going over what happens muscularity-wise when you're getting into that wing scapula position and how you can fix that naturally without any surgical options. Want to clarify that, aliens? Now let's get into these 10 exercises. Exercise number 1, aliens, is the downward facing dog.
All right, so many of you may have heard of this movement before. It is a yoga technique, but for this, we're gonna use it as a quick stretch to warm up, okay? So Mike's almost in a push-up position here. What he's gonna do is he's going to push his shoulders back towards his feet, just like that, getting a good stretch here. So if you don't have the flexibility in your hamstrings and in your legs to get a good stretch in your upper body here so that you're nice and flat, bend your knees a little bit, right? That's okay. We're focusing on the shoulders for this one. So while he's in there, hold it for a couple seconds, then he can come back out, right? Pushing forward, pause, and then he can go right back in. We're gonna do about 10 of these for a good warm up. So what we're really working here is to stretch your pec muscle and as well your lats. So those muscles attach high up on your shoulder here, up on your arm, and they can cause you to have rolled shoulders, right? To pull things forward for you. So we're gonna stretch those out so we can manipulate them moving forward. Awesome, 10 of these, and you're good to go with the rest.
Exercise 2, aliens, is gonna be a Serratus Push Up.
All right, so we're gonna set up in a push-up position here. Elevated, there we go. So we're not going the full range of movement like we would a normal push-up. What we're gonna do is we're at a fixed position here and he's gonna push up as high as he can. So force his body up, there you go. He's gonna come back down to almost like a rest position, giving in here, then push all the way back up. There we go. So your shoulder blades are gonna separate as you push as far as you can. So what we're working on here are our serratus muscles. Those muscles are a fan-like muscle that go and attach in our rib cage to the back of our scapula. And that's the muscle that's really gonna help keep those wings down. So we wanna focus on strengthening these. It's a very difficult muscle to trigger. So take your time. Make sure that you're not shrugging up, right? We don't wanna be activating these muscles up here, using these muscles down here and underneath our shoulder blade. So with this, if this position's too difficult to maintain, what you can do is drop to your knees, just like a modified push-up, and do the same movement. Awesome. This is almost like a cat-cow, like another yoga movement. Perfect. So I want you to do 2 sets of these, 15 each set.
Number 3, aliens, is a Blackburn.
All right, so what we're focused on with this video is how to use the proper muscles, right? That's really gonna help us fix our wing scapula. So here we're laying prone. We're gonna focus on one side as well because it's difficult to trigger those muscles, so we're gonna do one at a time. So with our thumb facing up here, Mike is going to relax his head down, keep his upper traps relaxed. He's going to lift his arm up off the ground and rotate it all the way down to his side. Perfect, so his palm finishes facing up. So what I want him to focus on while he's doing this is to not squeeze these upper trap muscles, but rather these lower ones down here, right? This is where we really want to strengthen it. Good, I can feel him triggering that muscle there. So take your time. You don't want to rush through it, because if you do, you're going to end up using the wrong muscles here. Awesome. This one is tough. This one's very tough. So take your time, do 10 on each side for 2 sets.
On to exercise number 4, aliens, which is the shoulder scoop.
All right, so we're setting up here. I'm giving Mike some tension on this band. His arm is fully extended, and if you don't have somebody to help you out, that's perfectly fine. Just set it up in a doorway and you're good to go. So I'm pulling here. What Mike's gonna do is he's going to set his shoulder blade, so he's suppressing it down, and then he's gonna scoop it underneath. There you go. So he's rotating his arm, squeezing his serratus, and pushing forward like that. So you should see things rotate, and if he wasn't wearing a shirt right now, I know he's kind of small and you can't really see his muscles, but the serratus kind of pops out from behind the lat there into the rib cage. So that's the muscle right there that we're trying to activate. Good, so we shouldn't be shrugging up. He's doing a pretty good job there. Really scoop, squeeze, pause, and then relax. So let's go from the other side so you can see this angle here. All right, there we go. So same thing, we're scooping underneath. Look at the movement of the entire back. Good, that rotation. He's not shrugging up using his upper traps. He's going underneath. There we go. So with this, I want you to do 15 reps for 2 sets.
Exercise number 5, aliens, is internal and external shoulder rotation.
All right, so I'm gonna provide tension on the band again for this one. So Mike's gonna set up with his elbow by his side there. So for this, how we're set up, we're doing an external rotation. So he is going to push his arm just about that position there. We don't wanna go too wide, and he's gonna come right back in. There we go. If this is easy, I can provide a little more tension, but this should be a tough exercise. These are muscles that you don't wanna put too much strain on because they're pretty fragile, okay? So here we are, we're trying to keep our shoulder blade retracted again, and we are working not only on our rotator cuff, but our serratus as well. Our serratus does help with the rotation of our arm. So good, we're working our lower traps as well. So we're doing 15 externally here. We're gonna flip and do 15 internally, so you can show them this way. We'll do both sides. So same kind of thing, starting at 90 degrees in front of him, keeping his elbow by his side. He's going to rotate in front. Good. So I don't want you to cave your shoulder in while you're doing this. Make sure you're keeping your shoulder blades back. That's what we're focusing on, right? So with this side, we're doing 15 as well. Make sure we get external rotation on his left arm here and internal on the right arm as well. He doesn't know his left and rights.
Exercise number 6, aliens, is gonna be W's.
All right, so we're trying to teach Mike some letters here. What we're gonna do, we're starting with our arms bent at 90 degrees in front of us, keeping our elbows by our side. We don't want them flaring out. This is going to be another external rotation exercise. He's going to pinch his shoulder blades, keeping his traps relaxed, rotating out. There we go. Come back in, nice and controlled, right? Don't let that band snap. So with this, we're working on our rotator cuffs, but as well, we're working on our serratus with that rotation and our low traps, right? We want to keep these muscles relaxed. Good. Pinching down here. Awesome. So if you think about the last exercise we were doing a unilateral exercise focusing on one side. This, we're bringing it together, focusing on that pinch. So we're gonna take our time with this, 15 reps for 2 sets.
On to number 7 now, aliens, it's gonna be T's.
All right, so the T's, or band pull aparts, we're setting up about shoulder height here. We're keeping our arms straight. We don't want to lock out our elbows, but kind of relaxed hold. And we are going to pull the band apart. Good, so we're nice and straight. We don't want to hyperextend. We don't have to go past that point. But for this, we're relaxing our traps. Relax, relax, relax. There you go. And we're pinching back down here, right? We're retraining our scapulas so that we are working the right muscles here below. We don't want to use these muscles or the muscles in front. We don't want them to dominate. So if you take a look here, he's squeezing down here. Perfect. So with this exercise as well, we're doing 2 sets for 15 reps.
We on to number 8 now, aliens. It's gonna be low rows.
All right, so another exercise to retrain our muscles in our back to correct our winged scapulas. So I'm gonna provide tension. Again, you can use a door for this one. Mike is setting up with his arms straight, and what he's gonna do is he's going to push his hands back just by his pockets there. So we don't want him to over rotate, because if you think of what that's doing, that's rotating his humerus, and we don't want the shoulder in that position, right? So he's squeezing his lower traps. We want to keep our upper traps relaxed there, just kind of reaching down as far as you can. You can think about doing a shoulder scoop at the end. There we go. So we're doing 15 of these for 2 sets. If that feels like you're not getting much out of it, do another set, right? We want to fatigue the muscles, but we don't want to be doing an endurance exercise.
Exercise number 9 now, aliens, is gonna be the D2.
All right, so Mike is set up here with the band. He's going to pin his left hand to his pocket there, reaching across his body with his arm straight and his thumb pointed backwards. He's going to come across all the way up, and he's gonna rotate his arm so his thumb's backwards, okay? So at that point at the top, he's going into a shoulder scoop, right? He's activating his serratus, which is helping pull your winged scapula in, pushing his scapula forward there. So it's just like he's pulling out the sword. There we go, ending in that position. So what I want you to think about doing is not activating that delt muscle or the upper trap. We're focusing on the serratus and the lower trap, right? To produce that movement. We don't want it to be dominated by your shoulder there. Good, so we are doing 15 of these as well on each side for 2 sets.
Exercise number 10 to finish off this video, aliens, is the doorway stretch.
All right, so lastly, we are gonna finish up with a static stretch here. Okay, so this is gonna help cool things down and open things up. So we are stretching out our pecs, and we are going to be maintaining a shoulder scoop position. So we're retraining our brain to maintain this position through the day, right? It's going to fix our bad posture. So coming into the doorway in a goalpost position with our arms, we're leaning in nice and light, creating that stretch. So keeping our shoulders down. We don't want to be hiking our shoulders, shrugging them up. Nice and relaxed, feeling the stretch. Take your time, 10 to 15 seconds, and do a couple sets of this.
Alright, aliens, we hope you enjoyed these 10 exercises and are going to use them to your advantage to help heal these conditions that can naturally occur to your muscularity. We want to be able to do our part to help offer a natural solution to wing scapular winging, when a lot of the times it's really not some serious medical condition, when it can happen from just daily activities like slouching over too often, and then it becomes a habit that you need to break. These are correcting exercises that will significantly help. So make sure to smash that thumbs up button for us and click that notification bell right next to subscribe so you don't miss any new uploads from us.
I guarantee you guys, you give these exercises a try and you do it consistently, your body will correct itself.
Everything takes time, and these are specific stubborn areas that need a lot of focus that not nearly enough people pay attention to. So that's why we got Sammy on the team. Let's go, aliens. We'll see you in the next video. Make sure to leave suggestions. We do have some videos planned like anterior pelvic tilt. Leave us more topics like that we can cover to help offer some more exercise solutions and get you the best results possible and in the healthiest state possible. See you in the next video, aliens. Peace!
Together we got power.